Hi, this is Sophia Cartman, host of the Dream Big podcast show. Place to learn, laugh, and grow.
Welcome to the Dream Big podcast. Today, we have something really exciting to share with you.
But Mom, before we begin, I have a question for you. What's one thing in common with Rapunzel, Winnie the Pooh, and Olaf?
I don't know. Maybe they all lived in the forest?
No, and Rapunzel didn't live in the forest.
Kind of, in a big tower. What is it then?
No, they all came from one man's vision. One first step. The man, the legend of the 20th century, Walt Disney!
Wow, I know you've been waiting to record this podcast for a while. You've been waiting to go to Disneyland for at least a year.
No, 2 years.
2 years?
2 years.
Well, last time you were there, you were 2 years old, so...
And I wanted it since I was 3.
Well, today, Big Dreamers, we're going to talk about the man whose legacy lives today in most of the movies that you definitely seen, and most likely his legacy will live forever, entertaining and inspiring many, many generations to come.
Here's my favorite quote from Disney that I'll try to live by every day. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think.
I love this quote, Sophia. And today, Big Dreamers, you're about to find out how one person's vision created the happiest and most magical place in the world.
How we got rejected so many times, you wouldn't believe.
And you will be also challenged at the end of this episode to probably one of the most difficult tasks that Sophia ever gave you on this podcast.
Yes, but the reward will really surprise you.
That was mouthful for you. Yes, Big Dreamers. So we're about to start. What time it is, Sophia?
It's time to dream big.
Welcome to episode 309. Let's get going.
Welcome to the Dream Big podcast show. We're inspiring you to shoot for the moon, take aim and go. We bring to you amazing guests who truly love what they do. Every day they're living their dreams, and so can you. Dream big, take action to reach your goals. Are you pumped yet? It's showtime, let's rock and roll.
So today we decided to teach you 3 lessons that Sophia learned from Walt Disney and from Disneyland. And it all started with her vision.
My vision was to, I really wanted to go to Disneyland. So I kept on asking my parents and convincing and telling them why I should go. So they finally said yes.
We decided to go on her birthday. Yes, Jinx. So the day finally came and we drove in the evening. We got hotel. We decided to spend 2 days. One day at Disneyland, another day at California Adventure Park, which is sister park of Disneyland with more rides, more adventures, and featuring more of a Pixar movies and Pixar characters.
True. So we woke up, had breakfast quickly, walked there, and there's this beautiful castle, the most beautiful thing I've seen in the world. The magical characters started showing up, and everybody was so happy.
Yes, we could definitely tell why this place is called the magical place and the happiest place, because adults and kids were all acting the same.
Yeah.
Adults were wearing funny ears and little tails. And there were a lot of critters in there.
True.
A lot of mice.
A lot of mice.
And princesses.
True.
What did we buy?
We bought a donut ear for me and my sister a backpack.
Yes, we decided to be in character as well, because once you get there, you kind of don't plan on dressing up.
For
but
Disney?
if you are there, you can just stop yourself, but really get into character of one of the characters at least.
It's hard to believe that this place came from one person's vision. And then everybody started building on it to make it even better.
Yes, Disney became one of the best-known motion picture producers in the world. And he was one of the greatest visionaries of our history, probably.
Probably.
Sophia, do you know who is visionary?
A person thinking about or planning the future with imagination or wisdom.
That's right. And Walt Disney was exactly that person, visionary, who didn't stop and did not take no for an answer. That's why it's leading us to our first lesson today.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one single step.
Correct. Walt Disney was the person who did not stop in front of the difficult circumstances that he and his business was facing. Do you know his biography, Sophia? Biography is a big word. It's pretty much his timeline, his story of life.
A little bit.
Can you share with us?
He started out very little drawing little characters that he imagined, I guess. And then he started going around the neighborhood and selling those drawings. Later, he worked as an animator, and then he started his own business.
Yes, Walt Disney was always entertaining, always wanted to make people laugh with his characters, and even when he was in army, he would draw for army newspaper. But when he started his own business, he really got into developing his own characters.
It wasn't all happy and jolly. Some of his characters were stolen from him.
But it didn't stop him, did it?
No, this not so happy situation didn't stop him, and it led him to create Mickey Mouse.
Yes, it looked a little different back then, but he went on creating, and very soon he came up with his first animated film, and sound was matching what the characters was showing. It's hard to believe right now because all we see is beautiful production, digital films, but back in the day, it wasn't like that. Mickey Mouse was born in 1928. And even though Disney's films didn't do well financially, when the World War II began, he still kept going.
He not only has films in his mind, he has Disneyland in his mind, a place where family, friends, and kids come together.
Sophia, do you know that legend has it that Disney has been rejected 302 times before he received funding for his first Disneyland? But guess what? He kept going and finally opened his first Disneyland, the one that you visited.
I love that Disney had a vision, Mom. He never gave up in his dreams. He believed. And he didn't take no for an answer, and he inspired others to follow. Disneyland is a place where kids and adults can be young at heart.
That's right. And we had so many great moments there. I remember how we went on your favorite Alice in Wonderland ride.
I was on that when I was like 2.
And I remember how you actually were very scared to go on some of the rides, but when you went on them, you were excited.
I was.
That's amazing how this place can change the perspective. And even though the slowest rides and little rides like Cops rides and Alice in Wonderland and Pinocchio and others can actually be mesmerizing even for adults.
True.
Sophia, what was your most memorable moment from Disneyland trip?
I think it was the most magical show, Mom.
The one in the evening?
Yeah.
That was a cool one.
The wonderful world of colors.
Well, they have 2 shows, one at Disneyland and the other one
at California Adventure.
Yes. And which one was your favorite?
Both of them. Honestly, they were both.
Well, you know, that's why not only they call Disneyland the happiest place on earth, but they also call Disneyland the most magical place on earth.
And that leads us to our second lesson today. Magic is the key to everyday life.
Exactly. That's what Walt Disney believed in his everyday. He always would say, sprinkle a little bit of magic.
I think one simple ingredient to everyday magic is this. It's kind of fun to do the impossible.
It's kind of your motto as well. You always try to challenge us to do the impossible.
True.
What's your examples of everyday impossible things that you do?
I have one, but it's for you.
Oh, what is that?
My mom hurt her tailbone when she fell on the stairs. And I kind of convinced her to go on the water slide. And she was sliding halfway, and she went so fast, I told her it would go slow if you slide it on her butt, but I didn't tell her it would go fast if you slide it.
That's a good example of doing the impossible, making the impossible possible. Yes, I did really hurt myself, but Sophia convinced me that it's going to be the slowest slide ever. And instead of going slow, because I sat on my
Side.
on my side,
It went fast.
I went fast. Luckily, I didn't hurt myself, but you always inspire me to do the impossible. That was a good example.
You don't know right now, but I'm cuddling my mom.
I love you. Maybe very soon we're going to be recording videos and they can see all you got, love bug.
Some other example of everyday magic. The characters, the rides, the show.
And the most amazing thing, they show up there every day. The Disneyland doesn't have any days off.
It doesn't.
And I love how you were so mesmerized by the evening show. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
It was so cool. And at the first part, they said, sometimes your greatest dream can turn into the biggest nightmare. And it was the show on water. And, you know what was really memorizing? The dragon that actually breathes fire.
It showed up from nowhere.
I kind of saw it just rolling in.
And the characters were showing up on the river and on the boats. And the Pirates of the Caribbean showed up and the princesses.
Yeah, I liked the Rapunzel one the best.
It was very magical. It was featuring all characters from the Disney movies.
True.
The production of the show was amazing as well because, as Sophia mentioned, it was water and fire together and fireworks at the end.
And there's water and there's fire inside the water.
That's really hard to believe that actually first vision of Disneyland probably wasn't like that. But with technology, it evolved and included other people.
I think Walt Disney would be very proud of how his creation turned out.
For sure. And he never got to see the second park, California Adventure. That's also amazing.
And he also never got to see his own creation, Disney World.
Exactly. But that just tells us again and again that one man's vision can come into reality and becomes legacy.
And this leads us to the third lesson of today. The way to get started is to quit talking and start doing.
That's right. We never seen amazing creations just by someone talking and talking and talking. You have to put your thoughts into reality. You have to inspire others. You have to create the vision strong enough that it pulls thousands and thousands of people, if necessary, towards your big dream, right?
Yeah.
Sophia, do you have example of quit talking and start doing?
Well, I was scared on most of the rides. But guess what? I was scared and I don't think that was good. Scare is good. Like, it would keep you from walking on the walls. But still, I guess I was just a little bit scared. But whenever you do something the first time, it's more funner.
But would you get a result if you just keep saying, oh, I'm brave, I'm brave? Affirmations are very, very good. And that's the first step. Yeah. But would you ever overcome your fear if you never do this?
You wouldn't, because you weren't doing it. For example, one of my ones, I don't know what the name's called, but one of the rides that I went on was so scary. I kept on blagging about it. I didn't want to go. And it was really scary. It was in the dark. And at the end, my picture was like, you can't see it right now, but like a huge funny face.
I have an idea. We can post it. We can post it on Instagram. Search for Dream Big Podcast on Instagram, and I will post a picture there. Will you let me?
Fine.
It was
crazy. It was like my hair and my face.
So what happened at the end? How did you feel after you were done?
I liked it. It was okay, but every time I get scared on roller coasters, I hold my breath. Like, I've always done that since I was very little. I just hold my breath.
And I'm glad that you stopped talking about your fears and panicking and just said, okay, you know what?
I was panicking a lot of days. All right. I was like,
Sophia said, I will face my fears and I just gonna do it. And that's one of the quotes of Disney, Walt Disney. Just quit talking and start doing. Only then you can experience and actually make a decision, not from your head, but maybe from your heart. And you realize it wasn't that scary. Or if the big dream seems too far for you, seems unachievable, if you start taking first steps one day at a time, you will be surprised how many people can maybe join your dream, join your journey, and also will be willing to help you.
I remembered my face on the roller coaster.
Yes, big dreamers, come over to our Instagram and definitely check out Sophia's picture there. I will save it in highlights and I will call it Disneyland so you can see all the videos and pictures from that.
It was like my hair in my face, like one of my eyes closed, holding my breath.
Funny. Eva's picture was funny too there. On one of the rides.
Yeah.
So definitely come and check it out.
Those are 3 lessons for you today.
Big dreamers, remember, number 1 lesson, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Number 2, magic is the key to everyday life.
And number 3, the way to get started is to quit talking and
begin doing.
That's right. We also have a challenge for you today, big dreamers, as we promised.
The challenge for today is try on purpose at least 5 times to get rejected, but keep on changing your strategy and see how the reactions change.
That's right. I remember when you girls wanted chickens, and Eva even recorded episode about it early in Dream Big Podcast. And first they were nagging about chickens. Get us chickens, get us chickens. We want chickens, we want chickens, get us chickens. We said no, 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 no.
And I did a chicken dance.
Sophia did the chicken dance. Nothing helped. But then Eva got smarter with Sophia. Sophia was little at that time. But
I was like
Eva
3.
changed.
And I had an important role in it too.
You did, but Eva changed the strategy. Instead of just nagging and asking us to get her something, she actually created presentation and convinced us with bullet points on presentation boards why chickens would be so beneficial to our family. And it was so impressive that we actually started thinking, maybe we will do that. Sophia did the chicken dance and she showed us the funny moments. And we actually do have on Instagram funny videos with chickens. The one that you need to see.
There was one time when I painted our chicken Einstein?
Yeah, Einstein's
nails, pink and purple.
So chickens became part of our family, and we have 12 of them now?
I think 12.
12, yes. And we have fresh daily eggs.
And we have 4 quails and 1 dog.
So the bullet point that sold me on chickens when Eva said, Mom, imagine every Saturday you would have fresh eggs, breakfast in bed. I was like, sold.
Sold for $10 million.
So just think Think about what other people want and change the strategy. But your job is to get rejected. You know what they say in Hollywood? You don't take no for an answer and you keep knocking on all the doors. You know how actors get auditions all the time and say no, 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 no. And
You don't know right now, but I'm knocking on my mom's head.
don't knock on my head. It's not going to open like a door. So get no's, collect no's. Be excited about no's in your life and change the strategy. You will be surprised how you get what you want by giving people what they want or changing the language.
On your head. Hey, I'm changing my strategy right now.
So after you do this challenge, Big Dreamers, please send us email and tell us your story. My email is olga@dreambigpodcast.com or send us private message on Instagram. Sophia loves to see that Instagram sometimes and I check it out personally. So we will definitely see your message. And in one of the future podcasts, maybe we will share your story and give you a shout out on social media.
That's all for today, Big Dreamers.
This was Olga Karpman
and Sophia Carmen reminding you that you have unlimited potential. Your dreams are not optional. You need to make them essential. So take massive action and turn those big dreams into reality. Live with passion the way life was meant to be. See you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.